Jeez, man. We got a new guest here. Hello. You can this is wow. Wow. I'm speechless here. If anyone who's into vintage TVs knows anything, they're going to be dropping their jaw at this one. This is a Zenith Chromacolor TV, and as we know, tabletop color vacuum tube TVs, or for that matter, any tabletop vacuum tube TV is going to be pretty rare. But a color tabletop vacuum tube TV is rare. A hybrid color vacuum tube tabletop TV is extra rare, but I've got one in the box, sealed up, and this was manufactured in 1969. There's the date code there, and the J14 is probably the factory code. It was probably made in Dallas, Texas, because this TV came from Texas, where it was shipped from. A collector had three of these, one of which was a floor model. I got a tabletop. I snapped it up real quick. I guess when the guy passed away, it probably got liquidated. There is a few holes here in the box. I don't know, maybe a rat chewed on it or it got dented, but the box is pretty dang sturdy considering the fact that this thing has been around since 1969. I have not opened it yet. I will open it when I feel emotionally ready to take on the odor of 1969 here. Zenith Chromacolor sets, like I said, are fantastic as far as the picture quality goes, because the Chromacolor idea was, as you can see there, you see those colored dots. That's what a magnified view of a CRT would look like, a cathode ray tube. And what's unique about the Chromacolor design is they had black around the edges of the phosphor dots and not gray, which added contrast and made the colors look brighter. So that's actually something that Zenith kind of did first. They were kind of doing pretty cool with that. But as you can see, though, this is the model number here, D3721L. And the first generation of Chromacolors were all hybrids. After that, Chromacolor 2s and 3, and then the Zenith System 3s, as they called them, those were second and third generation, and they go into the 70s. But those other two generations are solid state. This is a hybrid set. This is when they started to do solid state stuff, and this is a tabletop model. And I had it shipped from Texas, from a liquidation company. I got very lucky because someone else was aiming to get it. I beat them to the chase. I would have probably bought all three of them if I had the room, but I don't. So it's important to note, though, that even when you find if you're lucky enough to find a TV like this new old stock, you will have to still replace the capacitors. I mean, I know some people will scoff at that, but these capacitors will still degrade over time when in storage. And because you can't, you always should use a dim bulb tester. You should always use a variac when you're working on this older TVs. It doesn't even matter if it's new old stock like this. The flyback's probably fine. Everything else is probably fine. I bet the CRT is going to have no cataracts on it. It was stored in a dry environment, never used, never turned on, never even taken out of the box. And I can't help but wonder, it probably ended up coming out of a liquidated Zenith dealership at one point, but probably where the collector got it from when the collector passed away. Well, Zenith quality color TV. Well, that was back when quality meant something in the United States, and this was back when TVs were still being made regularly in the United States. I'm sure my neighbor probably hates my guts too at this point, hearing me like shovel around paper, but I digress. I am proudly and defiantly quirky and unique, and I will continue to be weird. So this is kind of what keeps my sanity in these tough post-COVID times. I think everyone needs a hobby, even if it means hoisting massive TVs around. I think that's a good activity for physical exercise. Certainly, it gave me a good workout this morning. And like I said before, I'm not strong. I'm not an Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm a frail, skinny, scrawny, 125-pound person. A person of weakness, POW. Not a prisoner of war. No. But this is my. Hey, buddy, you gonna pay rent? Yeah. What about rent money? Well, this thing certainly can't be pushed around. This thing is heavy. Yeah, you're a big boy, aren't you? You're a big boy. Ow. The thing is so tough it fights back. Oh yeah, you think it's so tough, huh? Yeah, I'm feeling a little tired today. I've actually been doing a bit better on sleep. So let's look around here. We've got a. It looks like we've got a instructions to unpack it. That's helpful. How considerate of Zenith. Now, again, you look at the sticker label here. I'm going to zoom in on that, see if anyone can make heads or tails of all of this. I'm guessing it's the 14 DC15 chassis or whatever they call it. It's the 4-tube hybrid. It's probably a 4-tube hybrid set. I think there was another hybrid set that had more tubes, but a lot of the Chromacolors usually were the 4-tube hybrids. But this is, I've never had a new old stock in box vacuum tube color TV before. I've never had any new old stock in box TV before. This is the first time I've gotten one of these. So it's going to be exciting to see what this is going to look like when I open it up later. And the box is in great shape. I mean, I don't know what kind of box supplier they use, but man, this thing has survived several of my lifetimes, my life so far. I mean, I was born in 94, and this thing was manufactured probably in Dallas again in 1969. I mean, the box is a little dented, but nowadays, I mean, with how thin and frail boxes are, I mean, it goes to, even the boxes back then were made better. I mean, let alone the TVs. So this box is heavy duty thick. It is thick. So high fidelity. And the slogan was always going, as it says, the quality goes in before the name goes on. And I think even the box is probably better quality than most stuff you would get nowadays. I mean, I'm flabbergasted that I was lucky enough to get this. And I admit the shipping was a bit pricey. It was more than the TV. I'm not going to say exactly how much I paid. I'm a bit embarrassed, but it was a very good deal considering what this is. I still got an amazing deal on this. If I were to sell this, I really am not in it for the money, though. I'm just doing this because I just am very, very into vintage electronics. So, anywho, not much else to say right now, but if anyone has any interesting statements to make about this or any advice, I would be keen to hear on it. But there will be an unboxing video at some point. I really should probably be finishing my other projects. A lot of them are mostly done or part way done. I mean, the Zenith is probably 2 steps away from its first power on test. The Zenith color TV in the basement. The Zenith black and white TV just needs a new flyback. The Heathkit TV just needs some capacitors replaced, and that'll be good to go along with a thermistor. The Motorola TV's done, obviously, and the Ford Philco just needs a few diodes replaced for the color phase circuits to be fixed. A lot of these TVs are almost done or close to being done, and this one is probably, I don't know. I really would not advise, though, just running this straight up. I would probably be recapping it too, but you know. That's an interesting experiment to see, though, what would happen if you just turned a new old stock TV on without bothering to do anything. I would not do that, though. You know, who knows what's happened over the years with this thing being in the box. This thing is closer to my parents' age. I mean, my mom was only a few years older than this thing. You know, I shouldn't be saying that now. She watches my videos, so. All right. Well, such an amazing quality TV.